got to fight this guy. Oh, you got injured in camp, you lose to that guy too. Now you're set back when you could have been a champion.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of like weirdness going on with possibilities and, you know, just luck, bad luck, and good luck.
Bad luck and good luck, timing, I think.
Is the burnt bridge with my brother unfixable?
I don't hate your brother. You guys need to fight guys your the same size. When you fought Floyd, you are massive. He did hit you with a fucking bomb, and you fucking ate it. He's gonna fight Gervonta Davis.
Who do you got?
Gervonta, I think, hits way harder than Floyd, but he's too small. Your brother's gonna be able to get inside on him, put his weight on him, tie him up.
I hear your critique on fighting guys the same size as you. Is that why you guys wouldn't let me fight Conor?
Yeah, you're fucking huge. Conor weighs 145 pounds, 155 pounds.
Yeah, but he says he can beat me.
Yeah, in terms of sparring, you know, we got some great guys coming in. Some really experienced southpaws that are smaller. I think Montana Love is coming in. Shakur Stevenson wants to come in. Jermaine Ortiz. We're gonna hit up Erickson, Lubin, some of these guys. So we're just gonna bring in a plethora of fighters that are fast, quick, shifty southpaws.
Jake Paul, Tank Davis fight got moved to Miami.
I think Jake wins.
Jake's just so big, dude.
I think Jake wins.
This is different because it's similar. It's similar to Logan versus Mayweather, but
Jake has
Jake
better
Paul
boxing.
now obviously is way more advanced than where Logan was at that moment in time.
I mean,
Gervonta
it's
is
just,
fucking sick.
I mean, yeah. No, but dude,
Did
Jake.
you ever watch his highlights?
Jake can
He's
crack,
nasty,
man.
bro.
He's so sick. I love that guy, bro.
Joe Rogan live reaction to Shakur Stevenson training Jake Paul and sparring ahead of Tank fight has the boxing world buzzing. Rogan's tone alone tells the story. Disbelief mixed with intrigue. The idea of Jake Paul sharpening his skills under the guidance of Shakur Stevenson isn't just bold. It's a statement. Rogan knows how dangerous Tank is. Yet the thought of Jake stepping in with that kind of preparation changes everything. It's not just another celebrity fight anymore. It's a collision of discipline, ambition, and pure audacity.
Tank is one of the most interesting fighters to watch because he's so different. His style is so different. You know, he's so economical. Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then he starts to figure holes out, and the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Yeah, he very explosive. He's very explosive, and man, he be cracking them dudes. Hey, he be putting them to sleep.
Just cracking people.
Yeah.
And he has so much confidence in his power. So much
Definitely.
confidence in his power.
The hype around Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis is reaching a fever pitch. With Shakur Stevenson now in Jake's corner, the narrative has completely shifted. This isn't the same Jake who relied on power alone. This is a more polished, calculated version stepping into unfamiliar territory. The contrast between Jake's size and Tank's explosiveness makes this matchup both thrilling and unpredictable. Fans are no longer asking if Jake belongs here. They're asking how far he's willing to go to prove he does.
It is happening. WBA lightweight champion Gervonta Davis, who's unbeaten in 31 professional contests, takes on the self-proclaimed problem child Jake Paul, one of the most influential and marketable global personalities. Paul and Davis square off in Miami after doubts around the fight being sanctioned in Georgia triggered.
Mike Perry doesn't mince words. He's seen too much inside the ring to be fooled by hype. His point hits hard when the physical gap is this wide, passion alone won't bridge it. Perry senses a shift in Tank. The hunger might not burn the same, and Jake's newfound technical growth could expose that. It's not just about skill anymore, it's about desire, and Perry's not sure Tank still has that fire.
Jake is big, Tank has a lot of skill, but I don't think he's the same Tank that we saw the most incredible knockouts. We saw him, I mean, Lamont Roach performed great. They went to draw, and, you know, I just don't know. And Tank walked away. I don't know if he loves it enough to beat a guy who outweighs him by 80 to 100.
Classic Nate Diaz, blunt, unfiltered, and real. He cuts straight to the core. The size difference is too massive to ignore. For all of Tank's brilliance, Diaz believes Jake's physical presence alone changes the fight before a punch is thrown. His tone says it all. This isn't hate, it's cold logic. In a sport where inches and pounds decide destiny, Diaz thinks this might already be decided.
Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. Does Davis have a chance?
Gervonta is a fucking great boxer, but he ain't gonna do shit with fucking Jake Paul.
So you got Jake Paul by knockout, or?
No, I don't got anybody, but I don't think
he's just too small.
It's just, I don't want to beat up somebody that small. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying?
What do you think of the fight?
I don't want to lose to somebody that. There's no point in the fight. It's a great fight, actually.
You think
I'm
it's
not
a good
hating
fight?
on the fight, but I think my thoughts on it is let's watch it, see what happens.
Michael Bisping doesn't sugarcoat it. He calls it how he sees it. Nearly 100 pounds apart and still calling it a fair fight. To him, it's absurd. He frames Jake Paul's move as dominance disguised as confidence, a play to control headlines more than honor. But beneath that sharp criticism lies something undeniable. Jake Paul's transformation from showman to calculated risk-taker is working. People are talking, and the boxing world can't look away.
Jake Paul, I think when he weighed in for Mike Tyson, was 227 pounds. That is, if I'm not mistaken, a 92-pound weight difference. Almost a 100-pound weight difference. It's insane. That is called one thing. That's called
Joe
being
Rogan's
a
reaction
bully.
here is pure disbelief. That kind of rumor doesn't just sound wild, it sounds impossible. But it shows how chaotic the narrative around Jake Paul has become. Between his growing skill, bold matchmaking, and media frenzy, the line between rumor and reality keeps blurring. Rogan's laugh might sound casual, but there's a deeper truth beneath it. Jake Paul has turned boxing into theater, and every whisper adds to the spectacle.
Hagler decided to bet on himself for that fight, knew that he was going to lose, like they had it set up, and then retired and went to Italy. That's a ridiculous rumor, right?
When the pros start reacting, you know the moment has officially transcended hype. Fighters, trainers, and analysts across the scene can't ignore what's brewing. Some call it entertainment, others call it insanity. But everyone's watching. The boxing community understands what's really at stake here. This isn't just a crossover event, it's a test of credibility. Shakur Stevenson sharpening Jake Paul's tools, Tank Davis defending his legacy. It's the kind of storyline that ignites locker rooms and podcasts alike. Every pro has a take and none of them can look away.
Is something like this allowed to happen? How is Jake Paul allowed to fight Gervonta Davis? It's completely unfair. It is completely just, I can't say the word that I want to say because
Only Teddy Atlas could deliver that kind of line. Sharp, witty, and painfully true. The image of Tank needing a ladder to face Jake Paul says everything about this matchup's absurd scale. Beneath the humor, though, is a valid point about fairness and physics. Atlas captures what many insiders feel. This fight's intrigue isn't just about who wins, but how they'll even share the same ring. It's a circus wrapped in skill, and every word he says drips with that blend of irony and experience that only Atlas can bring.
Look, I'm gonna say the only thing I can say, and I mean, you put it right there. Everything off of what we saw with the face-off for the promotion. The first thing I think about, you talked about the zeros in the contract. You talked about all those things, right? They should also have like the size of the ring, the size of the glove, all that stuff. Particulars should be in the contract. But I would probably look for one thing that is not the common thing to have in a contract if I'm Tank. A ladder. A ladder. Can I get a ladder? Somebody?
Teofimo Lopez brings perspective that few others can. He doesn't get caught in the chaos. He sees the bigger picture. For him, this fight is about energy, not ego. It's entertainment, a way to keep boxing alive in the mainstream conversation. Teofimo's tone is steady, almost diplomatic, but his choice of words reveals respect for both men. He knows what it takes to step into that spotlight, even when the stakes are blurred by exhibition rules. To him, this matchup isn't a threat to boxing, it's fuel for its future.
This one, Jake Paul, Tank. What do you think of that fight? Are you happy for Tank?
No, great fight, great matchup. It's fun for the sport of boxing. It makes it fun, it makes it entertaining. That's what it's all about, you know, and may the best man win. It's an exhibition regardless, it doesn't count.
Terrence Crawford doesn't hold back, and when a man like Bud speaks, the world listens. His words carry that rare mix of honesty and experience that only an elite fighter can offer. Crawford's issue isn't with Jake's skill, it's with his character. The fame, the entourage, the constant spotlight, it all rubs him the wrong way. Yet even through that criticism, he still gives credit where it's due. Jake Paul can fight. Crawford's reaction adds grit to the narrative. A reminder that respect in boxing isn't bought, it's earned in silence and pain.
Us fight. Yeah. I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
But you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, man, I'll be beat his ass. Never. That's some hating type shit to me.
Like plot.
I ain't never been that type of person ever.
Lamont Roach Sr.'s tone carries the weight of experience, calm but grounded in the business reality of boxing. His words echo a truth that sits beneath all the noise surrounding Jake Paul and Tank Davis. Timing is everything. While fans crave big moments, fighters live by opportunities. Roach's reflection subtly ties back to the spectacle. The Paul versus Tank fight isn't just about two names. It's about momentum, marketing, and movement. The game never stops, and those who wait too long get left behind. Roach reminds everyone that the sport may be emotional, but it's also unforgiving, and that's exactly why the spotlight on Jake and Tank burns so bright.
Like, that's the fight we won, and I think that's the fight the fans want, you know, such after a great fight like that. Everybody's looking forward to the second bout, but unfortunately, things ain't lining up as planned, so we just can't sit around and wait. We gotta move forward and continue.
Terrence Crawford cuts through the speculation with surgical precision. No metaphors, no hype, just facts. His assessment of the physical mismatch between Tank Davis and Jake Paul is brutally realistic. A 35-pound fighter against a 200-pound powerhouse isn't a contest, it's a risk. Crawford sees what most fans overlook. Boxing is a sport of physics as much as skill. He knows the rhythm of weight, the impact of reach, and the danger of a single punch. His voice carries the authority of a man who's lived those calculations inside the ropes. When he says Jake landing one clean shot could end it, it's not a prediction, it's a warning rooted in hard-earned truth.
Jake Paul versus Tank Davis, they just announced the fight. What's your instant reaction to that?
I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land one good punch on Tank, it's over with.
Jeff Mayweather's tone isn't aggressive. It's analytical, almost tired of seeing the sport drift into spectacle. His breakdown feels like a veteran trying to make sense of a game that's changing faster than its traditions can keep up. The way he frames it, "I don't even understand why the fight is happening," reflects a sentiment shared by many purists. The size gap between Jake Paul and Tank Davis isn't just physical. It symbolizes the growing divide between old-school boxing and the new entertainment-driven era. Jeff acknowledges the commercial logic, the pay-per-view numbers, the media frenzy, the spotlight, but to him it still feels wrong. Boxing at its core was always about competition on even ground, about skill and heart tested within fair limits. This, however, feels like something else. A show built to blur that balance. Yet his measured tone also suggests reluctant acceptance, because whether traditionalists like it or not, Jake Paul has forced the sport to evolve, and in Jeff's quiet disapproval lies a truth. The fight makes no sense, but it makes headlines, and that's the modern boxing world in a nutshell.
It's kind of weird, because Jake Paul is extremely bigger than Tank. And I mean, but with it being a exhibition, it makes sense. It's fine. He got a big name that he's gonna be fighting. But I mean, it really makes no sense because he's gonna be weighing over 200 and some pounds. Tank's gonna probably be weighing maybe at the most 147, 150. So I don't even understand why the fight is happening.
By the time all voices have spoken, from Joe Rogan's curiosity to Teddy Atlas's sarcasm, from Nate Diaz's blunt realism to Jeff Mayweather's disbelief, one thing becomes crystal clear. The Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis spectacle isn't just another boxing match, it's a cultural collision. Jake Paul, the internet disruptor, has stepped far beyond his YouTube roots, training with world-class talents like Shakur Stevenson and forcing the sport's veterans to acknowledge his presence. Meanwhile, Tank Davis, the embodiment of pure boxing craftsmanship, stands as the wall between celebrity ambition and true fighting legacy. The intrigue isn't only about who wins, but what it means if Jake even competes on Tank's level. It's the influencer era clashing with the purist generation, a story bigger than weight classes or odds. Fans don't just want punches, they want proof. Proof that the sport still has heart and that hunger can bridge the impossible. And as this storm builds, the question remains, can Jake Paul truly survive a fighter as ruthless and refined as Tank Davis? Drop your thoughts below. Who walks away victorious when size meets skill, fame meets fire, and the future of boxing hangs in the balance?